welcome to the first of what's going to be a whole month of holiday cooking and baking. I have so many little vintage holiday pamphlets to look at that I cannot wait to show them to you. And you'll notice this little stack over here. This is all of our viewer chosen cookbooks from those of you who watched the bookshelf tour and saw a cookbook that you just had to see. So we're gonna do our holiday chosen cookbooks first, then we'll move into our non-holiday chosen cookbooks. I cannot wait to get to them all because they are all wonderful choices. Now, as for this episode, I thought we would start with my favorite vintage Betty Crocker cookbook of all time. We're gonna look at the December section, of course, and we've got a wonderful cranberry orange bread that I think is gonna taste so good. So we'll go ahead and get started making the bread and then do a small look through of this cookbook just so you can see why it's so wonderful, and you may just want to go on eBay and get a copy for yourself. So let's go ahead and get the camera turned around and start putting all of this together. And here's a little sneak peek on all the little holiday pamphlets that we're going to be looking at. I especially can't wait to show you this one. This one is so neat. But we're gonna go ahead and do this cranberry orange nut bread out of the Betty Crocker's cooking calendar. And I'll be doing this recipe as is, except for one substitution. I will be using the gluten-free Bisquick, which I believe is a fairly new product. At least it is in my area because I've never seen this here before. But the reason I'll be using that is because going forward for, I'm not really sure how long it may be the rest of my life, I will be going gluten-free. And that's because I had digestion issues due to complications with long COVID that I've been dealing with for quite a while now. We finally found out that it was dairy that was the worst offender, but gluten has also proven itself to be quite an offender. So I have been able to clear up a lot of my issues just by changing my diet, and I'm so thankful that there's so many gluten-free options available, including Bisquick of all things. But I will still be putting the original recipe in the description box below, and I will put my substitutions off to the side. That way you can follow either one. And of course, if there is a gluten-free product that just isn't working or just didn't taste as good, I will absolutely let you know so you can avoid that product also. But you can see I have used this product once before, so I'm fairly confident that this is going to make a very good cranberry nut bread. So let's go ahead and get that started and popped in the oven. Now, this thing is noisy, so I'm going to spare your ears that torture and just show you what I'm going to put in it first. I've already got the Bisquick in there, so what we're going to do next is just add our sugar, our orange juice. We're gonna put all this rind in there just for some extra flavor. And then I'll go ahead and crack that egg, put that in there, and crank this up and let it go into a batter. And then we will put in our nuts and cranberries. But before I start this, I wanted to show you the cutest little basket I picked up at the farmer's market this weekend. Look how beautifully this is decorated. She's got little cinnamon sticks and berries and pine cones and all kinds of greenery. This is from Wolf's Haven Farm in Greene County. And she does the most beautiful and tasty canned goods I've ever seen. Look how gorgeous that is. And I love how she packaged this overall. What a wonderful and cute gift this would be for somebody. So that's another thing you might want to check out this holiday season, your farmers markets. Mine did a holiday market, yours might too, and you just never know what kind of really cute gifts that you could pick up for somebody. Aren't cranberries for Christmas time so beautiful? I've also gone ahead and roughly chopped the nuts. We've got our batter ready, so we just need to add the rest of our ingredients and get this to baking. I'm just gonna hand mix the nuts and cranberries into the batter. This has been such an easy bread to make. This would be perfect if you've got some company coming over for the holidays and you want to just make a really quick, easy snack for them to have maybe before your dinner, or just have something to snack on if they're staying over. The batter also smells so good with that orange juice. So this is really gonna fill your house with some great baking smells. Make sure you grease your loaf pan. And that's it. We're just gonna pop it in the oven. I so wish you could smell this. Oh my gosh, the orange and the cranberries are so wonderful. And now let me show you why this is one of my favorite Betty Crocker cookbooks ever. Now, I did go over this a little bit in the bookshelf tour, so some of this you may have heard before, but I really wanted to show you just a little bit more of like the pictures and that kind of thing, so you can get a better idea of just how absolutely adorable this is. This was first published in 1962, and from what I've been able to glean on the internet, this was the only year that they put this out. Now, of course, we start in January, and what I love about this cookbook so much is it's not just a cookbook. It's actually a little bit of a history book. So each month gives the flour and the gem for that month, and you also have a history of that month, where it got its name, and some of the things that you would do in January. And what's really interesting is things that you should buy in January. Now, apparently in the 1960s, January was the month for white sales. That means that's all your linens. So your bathroom and bedroom linens, if they need to be replaced, January would be the best month to do that because that's when they go on sale. Then you have some tips on what to buy during this month. You also have lists of vegetables and fruits that would be good this month. And I especially love that they give you the actual calendar, and on each day is going to be either little sayings or things that happened on that day, that month, and sometimes little tips. So mayonnaise made in a blender takes only a minute and tastes so good. And then of course you're going to get into the recipes. Now, interestingly enough, they go ahead and give you a menu, but they only give you recipes for some of those things on that menu. The rest is up to you. I also like that there's little snippets of historical facts all throughout the cookbook. So here you have where pin money started. And the same is done for each month. So you've got your month, your saying, your flour, your gem, and then your history. Now, they do have some colored photos, not very many, but I actually really enjoy the spreads that they did put in here. Everything looks so colorful and saturated. I love it. And here's the spread for spring. Again, you've got such saturated colors and sharp photography. It is so nice to look at. I love the illustrations in this cookbook. I love the layout of this cookbook. And I would also hope that if anyone at Betty Crocker ever sees this video somehow, please go ahead and make another one of these. I would love to see a modern version of this, and I would totally buy it as soon as it came out. I think it's finally ready. Now, A little bit ago, I did put this tin foil on top. I felt like it was getting a little too brown on the top before it was cooking through, so just make sure you watch that. You may have to put some tin foil on it yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. And now the hard part is going to be waiting for this to cool down a little bit before we actually get to try it. All right, Mitch, you have a few minutes left of your lunch break. He's gonna try this really quick. I haven't tried it yet, so Mitch, you're the first reaction.
That was weird.
That was. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to edit that out. Okay. All right, what's your first thoughts? Is it good? Oh, yeah. I probably should let you swallow first before.
It's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, even with the gluten-free Bisquick?
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah. It's different. Like, you can tell it's different. Like, you can tell the consistency is different.
Right, but
the flavor is really good. Like, if anything, I think it tastes better than normal flour.
Oh, okay.
It's got like an extra hint of other flavors you're not expecting so much.
All right, so it's official. Mitch likes a 1962 cranberry orange bread recipe that's gluten-free, right?
Yep.
All right, I guess,
All right, I'm back to work.
all right, see you later for dinner. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna take 2 bites of that. It's really good. I'm so pleasantly surprised with the gluten-free version of Bisquick. I cannot tell personally the difference between using the gluten-free Bisquick versus the regular Bisquick. So I think that's a really good testament to the product, because sometimes, you know, a gluten-free flour just can flop horribly, but this is a good one, and a good one to have on hand when you want to do something quick, because it's already got all your baking powder and salt and everything you need already added in there to give you a good product. And as far as the other flavors to this bread, it is so interesting and so good also. I love the little chopped fresh cranberries. I think that gives it such a nice texture and flavor. And then with the orange, of course, I mean, anything with orange, I'm a big fan of. So I think this is a big hit from 1962. I really enjoyed this, and it's something I would actually make again. And of course, as for this little cookbook, you have heard me rave about this. What is this? I think this is like the 3rd episode so far that I've raved about this or mentioned it in some way. And so, you know, I absolutely love it. I'm going to recommend, if you find it in a book sale or eBay, just go ahead and grab it. I think it's usually for a few dollars, and it's totally worth that. So there you go, the first little foray into our holiday vintage pamphlets. I can't wait to show you what's coming next. We're gonna do some really interesting ones. I thought it would be fun to have a couple episodes devoted to some of those bizarre vintage appetizers that they wanted you to serve at a party, but does that mean you should? I don't know. We're gonna taste test them and try them out, and that should be a lot of fun, so stick around for that. And thanks for watching this one. We'll see you next time. Bye.
And if you like historical cooking and unusual cookbooks, here's 2 more videos you might enjoy. And make sure to like and subscribe for more foodie adventures.